What the Heck TV. Today we're going to talk about giant pumpkins and growing giant pumpkins and how to successfully grow your giant pumpkin. I'm so thankful my camera's working. I had to dry it out for a few days because I left it out in a thunderstorm. But what we're looking at, guys, is giant pumpkins. How to grow giant pumpkins. And I'm going to tell you everything I know. And you can see I'm successful right here. I have a few pumpkins growing. When I've got the pumpkin seeds in my hand, what I like to do is soak them in water for a couple of days. This way they start to get softer. The seed shell gets a little bit softer, and from there, what I do, and in the room temperature water type of room temperature, and I just let them soak there for a few days. Then I take them out and get them ready get the soil ready. You want a nice loose soil. Okay, so get yourself some soil, potting soil, and get yourself little cups that you're going to put your seed into, okay? And preferably that they have a lid, and so you can have extra heat on them seeds to keep it warm in there so they grow into young pumpkins. So when you have your young pumpkins grown, and you see the two big leaves come out, two big leaves, and then they have two second leaves coming out. That's the time you want to get it in the soil and let it grow. Like right here is where I planted my seed. But there's one thing I made a little mistake on. And I'm going to get over here and show you. I don't want you to make the same mistake. These leaves are starting to fall. Now right here, where I like to just let things go naturally. Right here, I'll pull this out, pull these freaking grass growing all the time. I don't understand. I had watermelons here that never made it, but the pumpkin did. 1 out of 4 grew. This is the one that made it. So anyway, the mistake I made was keeping this board here. I should have took this board out. So you want to have a board that you can move out. If you're growing pumpkins in a raised bed, you want to be able to move one of the sides out so it's flat on the ground. You don't want to take no chances in this breaking. This puts out roots. At all these little junctions, it'll put out roots to get into the soil. Primary, secondary, third, fourth, and so on will grow roots, so you need soil for them to grow. So make sure you take the wall down. I used fertilizer. When I first started to grow these, I probably spread it around my whole garden twice. With these giant pumpkins, I started using Miracle-Gro, and it just kept everything so green, you know. Like, let's go to younger stuff here. It's really a nice green. Out there it's a nice like darker green. Like over here it's a lighter green. This is all new stuff, and I gotta use more and more Miracle-Gro to keep these things going. Okay, so what I do, guys, is use the Miracle-Gro twice a week. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know, maybe I should bump that up to 3 times a week or 4 times. I don't know. Because I want to get a big watermelon, but at the same time, I want to grow a few other watermelons because I want more than one. Okay, I don't want the giantest pumpkin in the world or in the state, you know. Maybe in the near future I'll work on that, but I just want to grow them successfully. I failed every time I grew pumpkins. You'd see all these pumpkin leaves and flowers, and the pumpkin would end up short because it would be end of the season and it would start getting cold, and the pumpkin would be in between growth, and it would just be like a little pumpkin. So this is the first time since I've been using the Miracle Grow twice a week that the pumpkin's sustained and been biggest they've ever been as growth of the plant. I mean, all the way down there, that's the main lead right there. All of this just keeps growing toward me, so I have to bend the vines out this way. They grow out and all the way over here. So what's that? What's that? It's at least 50 feet, you know, in length. And I mean, so all the way out here, it's about 50 feet. Cross over this stuff because it just consumes everything. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. So looking down there, it goes all the way down there, then it goes around the corner for, I'd say about another 12 feet or so. Another big length like this, maybe even longer than that. So what the pumpkins start, they look like this when they're first coming out. Little tiny pumpkin. There's a little bit bigger pumpkin. There's one with the flower, right, getting ready to open, and it'll open up soon. Here's one that did open. Still firm. I don't know if this is going to be anything. I don't know if this is going to turn into another pumpkin. It's possible. Okay, further down. This one died. This one got really squishy and soft, so I just yanked it off. Okay, just took it off. Pumpkin, look at that, guys. Look at that, huh? Let me get you on the ground. Oh, the wasp. The bumblebee's coming by me. Maybe it thinks I'm a pumpkin. So anyway, there's the pumpkin, guys. I'm going to show you the big pumpkin, okay? There you go. There's the big pumpkin. In the back, it's still grown, so I can see stretch marks on the pumpkin. Even though it's starting to turn to yellow. Even though it's starting to turn yellow, it does still have stretch marks. Maybe you need to see them. Just kidding. So you can see the stretch marks, guys. I'll even get a little closer there. You can kind of see the white stretch marks. Okay? That's how you know your pumpkin is still growing, with the stretch marks. Once they stop, the pumpkin is done. And with the hot sun, I like to even get a screen, you know, just a window screen like this, and I like to put it over the pumpkin to protect it from the sun. And of course it's not going to go right, so we got to do a slide. I have to grab both corners, straighten it out, and put that over the pumpkin just like that. Pull it back so the sun isn't directly hitting the pumpkin, and it's kind of being protected. Because we don't want it to explode with the heat. We want to keep it protected at all times. Oh, there's another one. Guys, you ever see the seed of a giant pumpkin? They're kind of dark brown a little bit, and they're thick, you know. So that's why I soak them in water, to get them to soften up a little bit. And then I put them in the moist soil. I stick it in the dry soil first, the potting the soil. Then I wet it. Then I add a little on dry on top, because it's going to suck some of that water. And it's got to be warm in the house to get this thing started to grow. I lost 4 of them. I mean 3 of them. I had 4 in a pack, so the 4 of them just rotted. And I don't know why that is. They decayed inside the shell, and white pus like came out. And I thought I was going to lose all of them. I was about to run and buy another pack when all of a sudden, a couple days later, I took it out of the soil as I figured it was rotted too, and I saw it opening. There was a little nub coming out. So I said, this one's good. It was firm. It didn't squish like it didn't squish in and soft and squish. It was firm, and it was starting to open. It had a little nub coming out. So I put it back in the soil. I put it out in the sun in the springtime. And after a few weeks it just started to grow real nice. So it takes time. You gotta get started with these things early. Otherwise you're gonna cut your time short in September. You know, mid-September, forget it. Nothing's gonna, everything is done. It's gonna go. And by October, everything should be already be gone. And that's basically how it is. End of October, it's getting cold, okay? And the cold just wipes out everything. And so that's some good tips for you guys. You know, soak your seed a little bit, then put it in the wet soil, and then put some dry soil on top. Eventually it's all going to be moist. And you want to put the round part of the seed down first. The point facing up, okay? Because that's the point, where that point is, it's going to start opening like this. And of course the inside's going to start growing out. And once, like if you use a clear container on the bottom so the sun can shine in, you're going to start seeing roots. You lift it up, you look under, you're going to start seeing roots under there. That's when you know, once the roots are like 3 to 4 inches long, plant it. It's going to take off like crazy. And that's what I did. I mean, it even took like weeks before it even started to branch out. You know, it took like 3 weeks just to start branching out a little bit. And then from there, I hit it with Miracle-Gro twice a week, and it just started taking off. So it's amazing. It really is how this stuff works. These are what I call female flowers, or male flowers. Excuse me. These are what I call male flowers. Okay, that thing there is sticking out. Now the female on the pumpkin, the flower on the pumpkin is a female, because you're going to take that, you're going to stick it on top of the female organ inside the flower and just brush it around in there. So you could get the pollen inside there. You want the pollen to get in the center and around the top so you could activate it. And then that flower is going to close and twist, and it's going to seal. And you're going to start noticing pumpkin growing, like this one. Okay. If it wasn't for the bumblebees, I probably wouldn't have any pumpkins at all. But the 2 biggest pumpkins I pollinated myself. I wanted to make sure that they got pollinated. And that's what you should do yourself. That's why I told you. Okay? You just rip this off from underneath. Just grab it like this and snap it off. Take all this off. Leave that stub in the bottom part there, that white part in the bottom. It's like a paintbrush, right? You gotta paint. You take that, you put it in the male flower, and you paint around the part that's opened. It'll kind of have like 4 things like this, like kind of, and you just brush it around the center and the outside, and it'll pollinate. But that's basically how you do it, guys. That's how you get your pumpkins to pollinate. If the bees and the bumblebees aren't doing their job, you gotta take care of it yourself. Self-pollinate. Like this one here was not self-pollinated, and it's dying. It's feeding the system what it's doing. Feeding the system. You can see when it gets dark, just like that right there. that sucker is going to get soft and it's going to decompose. So once it gets down a little further, it's just going to shrivel up and shrivel up, shrivel up, and then I'll just pop it off. Shoot, you see those lines? That's not going to make it. Shoot, okay. But this one's going to make it, guys. It's sad because my cucumbers weren't that great this year, but I did get some, guys. We got some nice 13, 14 inch cucumbers. That's much better. Long ways. I'm looking for a bigger screen that I can just lay across and hit both pumpkins, but it's hard sometimes. Obviously the big pumpkins take most of the juice to grow. Now if I would have pulled that second pumpkin over there, this one would have been a bit bigger because it would have took everything from the lead, and then instead it's putting energy into there and there. So normally I think farmers will pick that off, that one vine, and just let that one grow big, you know. And the same with all the other ones, because a lot of them are just going to die, and they're just going to disappear because there's already, I don't know if there's another one on this line or not. That one's done, and it's building that one, so it chose that one instead of that one, and that's what it's doing. It's building this is pumpkin right here. So, you know, nature has its own way of taking care of business, you know what I mean? Same over here. Chose this one instead of that one. But on a rare occasion, you'll get two to grow. One here, one here. Rare occasion happened right here. One there, and one there. So that's why the other two just, the plant itself didn't feed those other two, so they just dropped off. So it's got this boulder here is feeding, then a secondary boulder is feeding. So hopefully this will get bigger. It's starting to get really yellow, but there is a lot of stretch marks. This was definitely going to build up a little bit more than what it is. And then it's going to start with these guys. So every day it's growing. So I'm going to start feeding Miracle-Gro, I think, 3 times a week now to get that to build up and bulk up that pumpkin. And I got to start increasing the dosage over time. Start increasing 3 times a week because you want that pumpkin to get big. You know, these are giant pumpkins. They should be giant pumpkins, you know what I'm saying? I know it's really hard. It's hard. But that was like white, and it's starting to turn yellow. It's not like a dark orange yet, so it's still growing, it's still expanding, still stretching and expanding, which is a good sign. Well, I sure hope you liked this video. And again, this is What the Heck TV. Subscribe and ring the bell so you get my next video. And I'm definitely going to do a video of this pumpkin patch near the end when everything has been fully grown and show you what we get. And I'll even weigh some of these pumpkins, see how many pounds they are. I don't know about that one, it looks big. But maybe if it gets twice the size, I don't know if I can weigh it, but hopefully it does get twice the size. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, thanks for coming. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, seeing the pumpkins and seeing the vine, the giant pumpkins. It's just amazing. I'm going to take a couple photos, I'm going to add them in the video, and we'll see you on the next one.